Give me an immersion blender and just a few minutes and I'll show you why this little tool deserves a permanent spot on your kitchen counter. And let's start with one of the simplest ways to turn something that seems ready to be thrown away into a completely new dish. I never throw away those small amounts of vegetables left in my refrigerator. A few pieces of cauliflower, half a carrot, or whatever vegetables I haven't managed to use usually end up becoming something much more useful. And this is the first reason I love keeping my hand blender nearby. Start by preparing the vegetables as usual. Rinse those vegetable parts thoroughly. Place all the vegetables into a pot, add enough water to cook them and simmer until everything becomes completely soft. Now comes the easiest part. Simply place your hand blender directly into the pot. Blend everything until the vegetables turn into a thick, smooth puree. Move the blender gently around the pot until there are no large pieces left. But we're not eating it just yet. Grab an ice cube tray and spoon the thick vegetable puree into each compartment. Fill them one by one, then cover the tray and place it in the freezer. Once frozen, you've created convenient little portions that are ready whenever you need them. The next time you want a quick bowl of vegetable soup, take out a few cubes, add boiling water. In just a few minutes, you have a warm, comforting bowl of soup without chopping and cooking vegetables from scratch. It's also a simple way to use those odds and ends in the refrigerator instead of watching them slowly go to waste. I usually keep a few ripe bananas in my freezer specifically for smoothies. It's one of the easiest ways to use bananas before they become too ripe. The recipe couldn't be simpler. Take your frozen banana pieces and place them into a tall, sturdy cup. I usually add a generous amount because, trust me, this smoothie disappears very quickly once you taste it. Next, add one small container of yogurt. That's really all you need. Now start blending, slowly moving the blender gently up and down as the frozen banana begins to break apart. At first, the mixture will look thick, but keep going. Within moments, the banana and yogurt blend into a beautifully smooth, creamy mixture. And look at that! No large blender, no complicated recipe, and hardly any cleanup afterward. You can even drink the smoothie straight from the same cup you blended it in. It's cold, naturally sweet from the ripe banana, wonderfully creamy from the yogurt, and perfect for breakfast or a quick afternoon snack. Whenever I'm craving something refreshing, I can go from freezer to smoothie in just a few minutes with nothing more than a cup and my hand blender. Your hand blender can also make an incredibly smooth, creamy spread for bread, and this might become one of your favorite ways to use it. Start with a few eggs. Separate the yolks into a large bowl. We'll need about 3 egg yolks for this recipe. Next, add a small pinch of salt, about 3 tablespoons of sugar, and a little vinegar. Now take your hand blender and blend everything together until the sugar and salt are well incorporated into the egg yolks and the mixture looks smooth. Then comes the most important step, the oil. You'll need about 250 milliliters of cooking oil, but don't pour it all in at once. Start adding it very slowly, just a little at a time, while continuing to blend. At first, the mixture may still look quite thin. Don't worry, keep blending and gradually adding more oil. Little by little, you'll see the transformation happen. The mixture becomes thicker, creamier, and smoother. Continue until all the oil has been incorporated. Now look at that texture. Thick, glossy, incredibly smooth, and perfect for spreading. And don't worry about the blender blade. I know it's now covered in an oily mixture and looks like it will be difficult to clean, but stay with me. Later, I'll show you a very simple way to clean it without all the usual scrubbing. I couldn't wait, so I grabbed a slice of bread immediately and spread a generous layer on top. Creamy rich, slightly sweet, and wonderfully satisfying. Because this spread contains raw egg yolks, keep it refrigerated rather than at room temperature and use pasteurized eggs if possible.
Wow!
And now let's deal with that greasy blender blade from the recipe we just made. Don't worry, it looks much harder to clean than it actually is. In a previous video, I showed you a simple trick for cleaning a hand blender using just a cup of water. Today, we're going to improve that trick with one tiny addition. You still need a tall cup filled about halfway with warm water, but this time add small drops of dish soap. That's the secret. Because the blade is covered in oil, plain water may remove the food residue, but can leave that slippery, greasy feeling behind. The dish soap helps break down the oil, while the spinning blade creates enough movement to clean around those awkward little spaces that are difficult to reach with a sponge. Now take a look at the blender head, almost completely clean. The thick, oily residue that looked so difficult to remove just moments ago has disappeared with hardly any scrubbing. The final step is to rinse with clean water and let it dry completely. Quick, simple, and no struggling to scrub around a sharp blade with your fingers. Would you try this cleaning trick after using your hand blender? Let me know in the comments. And here's one thing I'd recommend if you're thinking about buying a hand blender. Choose one that comes with several interchangeable attachments. It can make a much bigger difference in the kitchen than you might expect. Take this simple sponge cake, for example. In one bowl, I already have the egg yolks, flour, sugar, a small pinch of salt, and the other ingredients for my batter. Start with the regular blending attachment. Blend everything together until the little lumps disappear and the batter becomes smooth and even. There's no need to spend several minutes stirring by hand. Once that's done, don't put the hand blender away. Simply remove the blending attachment and replace it with the whisk. In a separate clean bowl, start whisking the egg whites. In just a few minutes, they become lighter and fluffier, increasing in volume until they form the airy texture we need for a soft sponge cake. Now gently fold the beaten egg yolks into the egg white mixture. Don't stir too vigorously, we want to keep as much air in the mixture as possible. Once everything is evenly combined, pour the mixture into the hot pan. Cover with the lid and cook directly in the pan. And that's it. People sometimes think making a sponge cake means pulling out several different appliances and spending forever in the kitchen. But with the right attachments, one small hand blender can mix the batter whip, the egg whites, and help you get everything ready with much less effort. And if these tricks gave you a new reason to use your hand blender, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.